If you're the rich friend in your social group, you've quietly paid over $100,000 for the privilege. Not borrowed, not invested, paid. Gone. And the craziest part? You don't even remember spending most of it. Friday nights, group dinners, don't worry, I got this. That casual generosity you've been proud of for the last 10 years? It's the single most expensive personality trait in America. And I'm going to show you the exact math in the next 6 minutes, including the 3 sentences that'll cut your social spending in half without losing a single real friend. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about the social dynamics of money. If you're someone who's noticed that every time you make more, you somehow end up paying for more, for friends, for family, for casual outings that aren't casual anymore, hit that subscribe button. Because this one hits a nerve most people are too embarrassed to talk about. Quick question. Think about the last 3 times your friend group went out. Do you remember who paid for drinks? For the Uber? For the "I'll just grab this" moment at the end? If the answer is you, even once, keep watching. If the answer is you all 3 times, you need this video more than you think. Let me destroy the lie right now. You think being the rich friend is a good problem, a compliment even. I'm just generous. I can afford it. It's not a big deal. Look, I love that you're a generous person. But generosity and being the default ATM for your entire social circle are completely different things. And if you can't tell the difference, it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. According to a 2023 Bankrate survey, 60% of Americans say they've loaned money to a friend or family member, and nearly half of those loans were never paid back. Half. And before you think, that's not my group, my friends are good people, keep this in mind. The friends who drain you the most are almost never the ones who'd admit to it. They're not villains, they just never noticed, because you never made them notice. A 2022 Credit Karma study found that the average rich friend in a social group spends 38% more on social activities than the rest of the group, without realizing it. That's not paying your fair share. That's subsidizing everyone else. Do the math. 4 outings a month, dropping $40 to $60 extra each time. Drinks you didn't order, Ubers you didn't need, tabs you just rounded up. You're bleeding roughly $2,400 a year. Over 20 years, at a modest 7% return, that's over $100,000. $100,000 gone for pretending the check split was even. Here's the part that'll mess with you. Your friends who make less than you, they're probably saving a higher percentage of their income than you are. Let that sink in. You're the rich one. They're the ones actually building wealth. Here's what most people don't realize. This isn't a money problem. It's an identity problem. Think about the voice in your head the last time you reached for the check. It didn't say, "I want to pay." It said, "If I don't, it'll be weird." That tiny word, weird, is costing you your retirement. Because weird means you believe the friendship cannot survive you not paying. And that belief, that's not love. That's fear, dressed up as generosity. The more you earn, the more the group expects you to absorb. And once you become the friend who always covers, your brain glues that role to your self-worth. You stop feeling like a person in the group. You start feeling like the person who pays the admission fee for belonging. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Dave, but I don't want to be the cheap friend. I actually enjoy treating people. Look, I hear you, and there's nothing wrong with genuine generosity. But there's a test. Real generosity feels good. Default generosity feels like obligation. If you've ever driven home from dinner, mentally calculating what you spent, and feeling a tiny knot in your stomach, that's not generosity. That's financial resentment with a polite face on it. And resentment is the thing that eventually blows up friendships anyway. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If you stopped paying completely for 6 months, how many people in your current friend group would still invite you out? Write that number down. That's your real friend count. Everyone else is on a payment plan. Think of it like this. Imagine you run a small business, and every time your friends visit, they take one item from your shelves and never pay for it. Just one item. Small. Nothing to make a fuss over. You love these people, so you don't mention it. A year goes by. 10 years go by. At some point, you look at your inventory and realize you've given away a quarter of your store, item by tiny item, to people who never knew they were shoplifting because you never told them the rules. That's exactly what's happening with your money. The shelves are your savings. The items are the rounded up tabs, the "I got this" weekends, the "don't worry about it" gifts. And the rules you never set are costing you your financial future. Here's the confession most finance YouTubers won't give you. I used to be this person. I paid for rounds I didn't drink, weekends I didn't want to attend, gifts for people who didn't know my birthday. And the fix wasn't in a spreadsheet. It was in 3 sentences I'll give you in 30 seconds. But first, understand this. The wealthiest people I've ever met are shockingly specific about money in their friendships. Not stingy, specific. They'll happily spend $500 on a birthday dinner for someone they love. And they'll happily say, "I'm going to skip this round" when they're not feeling it. No performance, no guilt, no autopilot. The difference isn't how much money they have. It's how much permission they give themselves to say no, without an explanation. 3 steps. Do them this week. 1. Track your social spending for the next 30 days. Everything. Meals, drinks, gifts, I'll get it this time moments. You will be horrified. That's the point. 2. Introduce a phrase into your vocabulary. That's not in my budget this month. Say it calmly. Say it with a smile. Say it without apologizing. Watch how almost no one pushes back, because you've been the only one pretending the budget didn't exist. 3. Stop paying to belong. If a friendship actually requires you to be the wallet, it's not a friendship, it's a subscription service. Cancel the ones that drain you. Invest in the ones that don't care who pays. Being generous is beautiful. Being used, even by people who love you and don't realize they're doing it, is slowly draining. And nobody is going to hand you back the $100,000 you quietly paid for being the rich friend. You have to stop the bleed yourself. The real tell of financial freedom isn't how much you spend on others. It's how comfortable you are saying no, without explaining why. Get to that place. Your bank account, and honestly, your real friendships, will thank you. Drop a comment telling me the last time you paid more than your fair share and pretended it was fine. I'll see you in the next video.